Hi there, I'm Rachel Chase. It's October 26th, 2019. This is your new moon visioning activation video for today. It's evening here in Winter Park, Florida. It is a little rainy out. The sky has been this amazing, beautiful reddish color that is just incredible. I hope that you are doing well today. I know that this can be a very challenging time as we find ourselves coming to the end of a year, coming to the end of a decade, going through a lot of transitions, a lot of growth, and I know all of you who are in my community are very intentionally working on growth in your lives, on expanding into more of who you are, on creating your life purpose, on helping others, on really, shifting those patterns that haven't been working out so well. So here we all are together, and although this is a virtual space, we very much have set the intention to do this kind of empowerment work and self-healing work in our lives. So I just want to honor that and welcome you to this space and this healing video or call or whatever you want to call this. So let's take a moment together to take a deep breath in and just release and exhale. You can watch this video at any time. I'm going to take us through a process and an intention. So we really hold space that we're all doing this work together in community, and I want us to just take a minute to imagine that we're all together, maybe even in a big field or outside somewhere where we're in a circle together and we're honoring our connection with each other, every one of us. Even if you don't know each other by name, we're all of a similar soul path or life purpose that is about healing, right? That is about growth. Maybe you're someone who is really interested in learning about energy healing, or maybe you're already a teacher or a helper, healer, a coach, or someone who's just starting out in all of these things and wants to know what this is all about and how we can use these tools to grow and heal and shift our world together. And it starts, as we know, with the inside, from the inside out. So I'd like to read a little something to you that I wrote about this energy, this new moon, this Scorpio new moon. After all, Scorpio is the sign associated with still waters and going deep. And so in my contemplations today about this particular video and what we were going to sort of do together here tonight in this work to support the visions, to support our visioning. And what does that mean, visioning? To hold the space for what is possible. And that can take work because there's a lot of static, right? So diving into the unconscious, to change self-defeating patterns and beliefs, to clear stuck emotional trauma energy, initiating calm, profound expansion. Sounds like a tall order, doesn't it? That is really a gift, actually, that we're being bestowed with this new moon. This new moon is a gift. It is a powerful gift. This is the time in India we call Diwali. It's the time where we celebrate the coming of the light. This is the time where we go deep to honor. I want you to imagine for a second a vast still waters, maybe the biggest lake you can imagine, or way out in the middle of the ocean, and the depths that is down underneath the top of the water. And that can feel heavy, or that can feel scary, that can feel like the unknown. And that area that we think of under, down, deep in the water, that is within us. We have this space within us, this capacity that is the unknown, the underneathness of our being. And so we might think of that as our unconscious. It's not a scary place, although we might fear it because it is unknown. But truly, is it really unknown? Maybe we're not consciously aware of what's happening behind the scenes, but we can go there. We can start to travel into those deeper places within ourselves to access maybe resources, to access awareness. So I'd like to speak a little bit to something that one of my a person in our community has brought up recently with me, and this person was sort of reflecting on something I've shared recently. I think I created an Instagram post that was shared on my Facebook page, and that really, it was in the moment. I was sharing a very important moment to me this week that is about a realization that I think we start to have when we're working on ourselves, that can be really uncomfortable. When I say working on ourselves, I don't mean that in our essential core there's anything to fix. But by working on ourselves, I mean, we come up against challenges in our life, and we'd like to know how to deal with those challenges. And so in order to deal with those challenges, we do the work within ourselves to grow and learn and uncover the core of our being, which is that we are ultimately divinely perfect. Now, we may battle that truth with a lot of confusion and feelings of angst or worry or anxiety or depression, right? We get upset when we don't understand what's going on. And so because perhaps we weren't supported in our earlier years, or because perhaps the social structure that we dwell within doesn't necessarily support that divine truth within us, we get to unlearn all of this programming and shed all of this conditioning. And I say we get to. Sometimes it just does not feel very good while we're doing it, right? It can feel very confusing. And so what this person was bringing up was, okay, so here I am now confronted with all of these conflicting emotions within myself. Here I am confronted with this part of me, this part of me. What's real? What's true? How do I resolve these? How do I hold space for the seeming distant? Distant is kind of the word I'm going for. They feel distant. These parts of ourselves feel so different from each other that it can feel very confusing and conflicting and uncomfortable. So this is why I teach what I teach, and why I help people go through the journey of mindfulness, meditation, Reiki, yoga, and deeper soul journeys with quantum healing, because this work all starts with really the foundation of this work, okay? The very foundation of this work, that is the through line and the thread that connects it all, is meditation. And so it starts with the breath, right? And it seems so simple that we forget to do it. And so we have these parts of ourselves, and there's this maybe overthinking part of our we've cultivated an aspect of our mind that is the overthinker. And the overthinker suddenly wants to figure all this stuff out. So here we are trying to figure all this stuff out, when really maybe we can ease off of that just a little bit and let it sort of just be for a time. Give it all some space. And you might say, how do I do that? You know, some of you maybe kind of already get the gist of where I'm going with this, but I really want to speak to what this person brought up, because we can all forget. We all forget sometimes. We all forget. Even if we've cultivated a long time meditation practice and healing practice, and you know, our yoga and meditation teachers and Reiki masters and, and counselors, and you know, we seem to have gone so far down our journey, we all forget. We all forget. Growth work is just that. It goes in, you know, winding, right? And a new leaf, and a new leaf, and then the next growing pain into the next, and the next growing pain into the next. So when we can see that for what it is, that's the first step, aware. That's what the new moon in Scorpio is all about. Going through that next level of growing pain so we can really clear. And although usually full moons are the time when we're clearing and releasing, new moons can be that too, right? So if we're planting a new seed, if we're creating a new beginning, if we're shedding those old patterns, or if we're owning, we know we need to do this for ourselves and it's time to start, it's going to take some real clearing of the space to do that. Maybe decluttering, right? Cleaning it out the closets, literally in your home, you know. Or maybe it's just an inner resolve, right? And when we talk about clearing out the closets, when we mean in an internal way, now it's about the breath, really. Couldn't be any simpler, and yet it has to be done. We have to be the ones to just do it. We have to sit down and do the work. And we can be a little stubborn about that, can't we? You know, we just want things to get taken care of. Wow, if I just figure it all out, then it's all clear, and then I can just let it go. Well, it's not always such a cognitive thing we're talking about here. Figuring things out can, yeah, sure, building awareness, understanding, you know, patterns and where they came from, that's all fine and good and useful. And also stepping into some self-inquiry, also very useful, to question things. Just how true is this, you know? How can I sort of flip it around and see things from another perspective? Very important, very needed, very necessary. To do that work, it's very necessary also to give your body, mind, energy, spirit, soul some space. So we're going to give ourselves some space here for a moment. I'm going to guide you through a little mindfulness practice, a little mindful breathing right now. So closing your eyes and either sitting up, present, or even lying down, or standing. But doing it with presence, doing it with an attitude of, I am doing this, and I know I'm doing this. I'm doing this on purpose. We're going to take some breaths in through the nose and out the mouth slowly. Feel your belly, chest, and body expand when you inhale. Hold it a bit at the top and then slowly blow out the mouth. And again, inhale deeply. Hold it a bit at the top and blow out the mouth. Go ahead and do that one more time. In through the nose. And blow. And I'm going to guide you for just about a minute or two here. And I want you just to be aware of the breath moving in and out of your body. Feel the sensation of the breath in the nose and the mouth. the sensation of the breath in the belly and the chest. The rise and fall of your shoulders even as you breathe. Your feet. Notice your feet. Ground down. Notice the feeling of your body as you breathe. You may notice thoughts happening. Totally fine. Just let them happen. You may notice emotions rising. Let them rise and fall. The breath moves in and the breath moves out. The thoughts rise and fade. Sometimes we get carried down the portal of thoughts. Just noticing when that happens. And coming back to the breath. The emotions may feel quite intense. If that's the case, do not try to stop them. Allow the intensity to rise, the emotion to be felt. It may take a little longer for the emotion to pass, the more intense that it is. But trust me, it shall pass. Emotions are energy in motion, and when we stop them, they get forced into a place within our body-mind system. And they will come back even stronger another time, so you might as well let them be felt now. And then back to your breath. Good. So the breath, the thoughts, the emotions, these all rise and fall. These move in, these move out. Now you may notice that within your being you feel multiple different feelings at once, multiple different thoughts at once. Parts of you might start to argue with each other a little bit. Maybe your body will present some discomfort, some sensations that you'd rather not be feeling. Notice that. Be aware of it. I'm not saying to try to get rid of it. By noticing it, we're not saying to negate its existence. We're not separating ourselves from the fact that there's discomfort, or from the fact that there are thoughts, or from the fact that there are emotions. We're simply noticing them and experiencing them in the moment as they arise. Now, why am I doing this practice for us in response to this notion about parts of ourselves and how to handle that? This is because this practice of sitting and breathing and noticing and allowing things to rise and fall builds an internal instinctual ability to hold the space for all the parts of yourself, for all that you are. And it starts to awaken the true you that is within. We can call it the soul self. We can call it your core self. We can call it your higher self. We can call it whatever you want to call it. You can name it if you want, or I can just call it Rachel. It's all of who you are, and all of what you are gets to be fully accepted in the eyes of this aspect of you. And having a regular sitting practice, or standing, or walking, or lying, while doing just what we just did, or maybe you're still doing it, You're being in presence when you're doing that. You're cultivating and activating the part of you that may not have gotten tended to yet. The higher self, the core self, the self-actualized self, the highest potential that you are, the soul self, your spiritual essence, whatever you want to call it. She's in there. He's in there. They're in there. It's in there. It just takes a little time and a little tending and a little bit of space to let it come up and out. And awareness that it is there, even if you can't quite pinpoint it yet. But when you have a regular sitting or lying or standing or walking practice, it starts to translate into your relationships. It starts to translate into how you move through life. Those shifts and new habits and new patterns and new ways of being that you're trying to cultivate get a little bit easier and 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 a little bit easier over time, becomes more of the norm. And sometimes it takes a real kick in the butt, right, for us to change those patterns. So consider this new moon your little kick in the butt to create some resolve that says, okay, I'm ready. Even if I'm not fully ready, I'm going to just be ready here to allow a little shift to take place. Whatever that thing is you need to do for yourself, or give yourself, or take care of for you. Give yourself the things you know you need. Rest, exercise, food that is healthy, loving, hugging yourself. Whatever it is that you need. Let the emotions fly. Maybe you need to just let it out. Maybe there's a lot of repressed, stuck stuff that needs to just move. Get the support that you need for that. Get an energy healing session. Get a sound healing session. Get a coaching session. Get a therapy session. Go outside for a walk. Call a friend. Get some support. Write in your journal. This is the time right now to make the lists about, this is how I am of value. Because you are of value. So honor that in a deep way right now. Make a list of look how far I've already come on this, and this. Give yourself some credit and build on that energy. Build on it. Okay. So I'm going to pull a couple of oracle cards for us tonight. I'm glad I'm getting this far through the video. I was thinking I might have to stop and start a few times, so this is really great. I've got a couple of decks. One is the Druid Animal Oracle deck. And this was a gift from my husband many years ago for a birthday. And then this one actually belonged to my mother-in-law, the Crystal Deva cards. Is this going to show up backwards because of the way I'm doing the video? I think it might be. Crystal Deva cards, Mineral Kingdom Wisdom. So first I'm going to do the animals. And I have not picked a card for us yet. Sometimes I'll pick the card before the call, but so let's just bring in some light. I want you to imagine that we're all connected with the field. There is a golden light grid around the planet, and that grid is connected with a bigger grid that goes out into the solar system, and then out beyond that into the universe, and beyond into time and space, all through it all. No time, no space, all existences. And that within that whole framework of understanding how it's all connected, we can honor that there is source energy that is infused through everything. That we have a divine or a true nature template of our being, of our biological being, of our essence, of our soul stream. And that right now we're going to receive an inspiration that is for all of our well-being, that honors this new moon as we step into the new, and as we let our soul, as you let your soul guide the way on, rising ever stronger into the new. That's the intention right now. We got this. We can do this. We are doing this. All right. I'm going to get the rest of the deck here. So connecting with that energy within your heart space, connecting with the energy all up and down your body and in the earth. Let's really bring in connection with Mother Earth. Okay. Ooh, we got the bee. Oh my goodness. And the bee is all about creativity and connecting. Just imagine what the bees are like. Aren't they all amazing? All connected together, doing this incredible work. And this bee is, there's a big sun above the bee, and there is a winding path that goes off into a kind of a pyramidal shaped temple that looks kind of like a yurt dwelling, but has a couple of different levels. And then on the path there's a stone figure with a face on it too. So this really is showing me the image of our journey together, and that we really need to continue to come together to create together. This is really about creativity, and it's really about having the support that we need for that creativity. And I'm going to read a little more about that card in a second. And then I'm looking at the Crystal Deva cards. And I'm going to shuffle this deck too to receive a message from the Mineral Kingdom for us. So just thank you, thank you, thank you. Imagining the Mineral Kingdom and all of the energy of the crystals and beyond and beyond. And I'm really getting the deep intuitive knowing that the more we use the stones, wow. So I'll talk a little bit more about that, but I want to show you this card here first. Wow. This is golden calcite, or power. So I'm really feeling a connection here between these two cards. And I'm just going to read a little bit about this golden calcite. So if you think about golden calcite and the color that we're looking at here, when we connect in with the crystal, with the grid, with golden light, I want you to just kind of like think about golden light for a minute here while I'm pulling this up. Just think about the power of golden light, especially if we remember that light is encoded with energy and vital energy that we need. And we think about the second chakra, which is creativity, and the third chakra, which is courageous power. And so I'm really feeling this second and third chakra connection here with this card. And this is saying it's connected with the solar plexus chakra, and the color is gold. And so we also have our sun here, which is very much about the solar plexus chakra. And it's very much also second because that creativity. So within each of you is a reservoir of power, a golden orb in the center of your being. In the physical body, it's located at the solar plexus area above your navel. The higher self moves plans and ideas into this third chakra for empowerment. So I want you to take a moment and just really bring up in your heart a powerful image, or just imagine the feeling you get when you imagine that you are stepping, kind of shedding another layer and stepping forward as your higher self and creating in the world in miraculous and beautiful ways, making the world a better place, making your life a better place to be in. The solar plexus operates like an engine to fuel your intent and bring your goals into manifestation. So I'm really, really connecting right now with a very powerful, deep energy that is just Imagine it flowing through all of our hands, all of our hearts, and all of our minds, and all of our souls, and all of our bodies. That's enlightening and empowering us to just create, that everything we touch turns to gold. The solar plexus works in your physical body like the sun works in the solar system. So put your hand on your third chakra, which is above the belly button, that whole big belly area there. And envision a golden light, like a very, like flecks of gold and kind of like an orangey yellow gold just shining, providing this energy and warmth for your inner crops to grow and bear fruit. It's an energy vortex that drives your will. Yep, the third chakra is all about connecting with will. And when we think about will, sometimes it's like we're forcing something. But no, this is really about allowing life force will to move through you and getting out of its way. So willpower is up. It's funny. It says willpower is not a forceful, aggressive expression. In fact, no force at all is necessary to invoke the power of the will. When you engage your willpower, you tap into a mature reserve of confidence. There is no foot stomping, no tantrum throwing. There is resolve and stability. Not only do you generate your own power, but we blend our golden energy with the solar plexus to gather power for you from the other energy sources. Okay. For instance, nature, in all her abundance, is a constant supplier of power. This is why we need to be really eating well too, like plants, like lots of green smoothies, and infusing our tissues and our cells and our DNA and our bones with just so much goodness so the body can keep itself really nourished and strong, because there's so many external forces kind of coming at us, right? EMF waves, you name it, negative energy, yada yada yada, right? All this stuff coming at us. We need to take care of ourselves to the max. So the other kingdoms also offer their energy freely with you, right? Like pets, right? So I'm not going to read the whole meaning here, but essentially let's just do a little bit of clearing for the third chakra here in a minute. I'm going to read the Animal Oracle deck, if I can't find the book. There it is, for the bee. I'm really excited about this one. I've seen this one quite a few times before. I'd really like to read it to you, because this deck is near and dear to my heart, because it really speaks to the traditions that are really indigenous to me in the Druidic tradition. So this is talking about community, celebration, and organization. Page 110. So yeah, get the support you need. Get together with others that are also, on the path, so to speak, right? On the growth journey. 110. That can speak that language with you. So this is the queen bee resting on a stone, and in the background we see the house of mead circling at Tara as it may have looked at the height of its powers. In the sky, the noonday sun shines brightly, and we see ur, or heather, growing by the rock, which is carved with the ur ogam. So this is bringing in a lot of the Druidic language here. So the bee in Druidic language is called the biach, and the biach invites us to celebrate. You may have a special reason for celebration. This is what I'm talking about with really just writing down all the wonderful ways that you have achieved what you've achieved, and how far you've come, and what you've grown through already. And we are just going to celebrate that right now. We talk about, like, if we're going to manifest, we need to take an action step. Well, yes, that is true. But right now, before we take that action step, this weekend is more about creating a big open space for yourself in your home, in your heart, to let the celebratory energy rise up. Look at the beauty in your life right now. Look at your family, your children if you have children. Look at your business if you've grown a business. We're always thinking about this next project and how to make things better, or the relationship we wish we could be, or the job we think we're gonna, or the place we want to live, or it's like, okay, well, once upon a time, we thought what we wanted was X, Y, and Z, and now we're there. Well, you know? So wow, how freaking amazing is that? You know? And that maybe our past self would just sing a song and dance if it knew that you would actually get this, whatever this is. Maybe you're in a yoga teacher training and you never thought you'd be doing that. And now look at you, you know? Or maybe you just finished one and you're going, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? It doesn't matter at this moment in time. Let's let go of needing to know at this moment in time and focus on really powering up our inner energy so we can be ready for this next shift that we're all going through. And so what we do right now is we celebrate this. We celebrate what we've done. We celebrate who we are. We've celebrated it. And we're really celebrating each other too in this community. So really grateful for that card and the inspiration from the Golden Calcite. Ooh. So let's do just like a final kind of energy clearing process. I'm calling this the somatic energy healing technique. And, you know, you can call it whatever you want. But I really want you to go back into that space where we were a little bit ago, okay? And just take some breaths here. And just open your palms up and bring in some energy from above you. I'm just really tuning in with a lot of light. And what I've been receiving in my meditations and visions and intuitions and deep soul work is that we let the light work with us, and we can start to perceive how our energy guides and beings are really helping us by just focusing on the flow of the breath and inviting in light. And the more we do that, the more the inner sight awakens, the more our sort of what we call psychic powers come online. Everyone has them, they're just dormant. We just don't use them. So the more you tap in internally, the more we connect with the knowing in the way that we know with the energies that are at play in our lives, with the guides that are here with us to assist us. We are so much more than meets the eye. And so we need to go inside to tap into that other space of no time, no space, to access those parts of ourselves. So just take a minute to access your internal space and take a few more breaths. Maybe place a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly, or both hands on your belly, or maybe on your legs, or maybe just keep your palms open if that feels good. Just invite in this energy right now. Let it come into your body like a spiral or a vortex or a funnel. Just imagine like a big blue orb of light above you coming down into your body, all the way down through your body. And now bringing in this yellowy golden light into your belly. I want you to notice any sensations you're feeling in your body that are kind of in the way that you've thought of them as maybe blocks. Just sort of bring your focus into that area for a moment and take a breath. And use your hand and start to imagine that you can kind of draw the block out, like soup, or like sand, or like soup came up, but it kind of like maybe even like a sand, or like smoke, or like it just maybe just feels magnetic, that you can just draw it out, and you breathe in and out and just draw it out and send it into the earth. Literally, like you're pulling out the block. And just letting it flow out and down into the earth. And bring your hands maybe in that area where you felt that there was a little stuckness. And I want you to imagine some golden light flowing through your hands and beaming it into that third chakra. Breathe. Stay very connected in the earth as you do this. Breathe in and out. And I want you to imagine that we're all here in a big, giant circle together, receiving a portal of light from the farthest reaches of the universe of love. And this huge golden light is just showering down on the whole circle into all of our bodies, down around us, creating a field of light around us. And as if you can imagine that we each have an imprint of energy that's a signature that sort of expresses our gift to the world that we have been anchoring into this world. What is your gift? And maybe you're thinking, I don't know. And maybe you know what it is. Maybe you're figuring it out. Whatever that is, just imagine that there's like a symbol of that. What would that symbol be? And envision a big imprint of that symbol on your chest, and maybe even that it sort of hovers out into the space around you, into this circle, into this field that we've all created together. And that gift, that signature, that imprint, that symbol is receiving some energy into it to empower it, to give it a big burst of love and life and celebrate it. Celebrate the gift that is just to you. You are the gift to the world. Bring that into your body. Imagine that symbol down in your belly area, shining and radiating and shimmering all through your body, maybe even making it really big all around your whole body. This beautiful symbolic imprint of energy that's all around your body. And that representation that you've just created or has been shown to you now, I want you to draw it after you get off of this video, after this video is over, after we get off the call here. I want you to draw that symbol somewhere. And then write down all the wonderful things that you've done and all the value that you have. And all the things that you have created to get to where you are now. And look around you and see everything around you have to be grateful for. Your body, your strength, whatever is there within you that you have, that you do have. Tending to that in a big way. And doing a lot of breath work the next day, tomorrow, today. I mean, we don't have much left of today, but yeah, still some time. Drink a lot of extra water. Breathe deep, clear. Use your hands, sweep out your body. And I mean to do that now, and I also mean for you to do that the rest of the night and into tomorrow. And really, really tend to that. Clearing of the space with your breath, clearing of the space with your water, clearing of the space with your words. You might even use a powerful statement. Imagine that golden vortex of light. And just say, I release all that no longer serves me. I release the confusion. I release the doubt. I release the worry into the light. And just thanking the universe, thanking your guides, thanking the energy, thanking the moment, thanking life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I trust that I am receiving exactly what I need to be the co-creator, the divine creator of life in my life and in this world for the highest of all, for the best for myself, for the best of others. And I allow it. I allow it to come into form. I allow my dreams to be manifest. I allow this vision of what is possible in the world to be elevated into even something better. And I know that I'm being given the strength to get through this wave, this wave of intensity as there will be more waves of intensity. We'll just keep coming back to that practice every day. That's how we create the space. That's how we hold all of it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful. And I will see you next time. Have a beautiful night, sweet dreams. Mwah. Happy new moon.